Good morning. It is I, Lou St. Lou. I know. I have to say it. I have to say it. It's the tagline. Yeah, I know. I just woke up. I'm a little rough. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't smoke. I'm planning on quitting. If there's any kids watching this, don't smoke. It'll take you forever to freaking quit. It's terrible. Anyway. I thought I'd do a quick stroll around the garden today and show you what I've got going on. Oh, here comes Mark. Ah, Fooish. It's a little rainy. She does not like the rain. So, I just wanted to share what I have going on here. These are my garden boxes, and I had been only doing edible things in here. It was my little veggie patch. But when we put this here, even though this it fits in this space perfect and it's really cute, it doesn't get that much sun, duh. So yeah, I was only thinking about aesthetically how this would look several years ago. Also, I wanted to point out, I bought these boxes as a kit, and they really don't last that long. We had to shore these up. Actually, my husband Marshall did that. He's awesome. Because they just start to rot. And I was like, oh, this is such a great idea. Let's get these little kits. And yeah, no, they kind of fall apart. I think I'm going to do some galvanized, they look like horse troughs, but they're not actually horse troughs. I think they have like an open bottom. But I think we're going to take all of this out, and then we're going to put in some rows, maybe 2 or 3 of those horse trophy deals. And I'm thinking about putting some, I think that stuff's called like cattle rail. That doesn't sound right. It's kind of like chicken wire. It's in the chicken wire section, but it's much sturdier, and it's just a grid of squares. But it's sturdier, but it's flexible enough that you can do like an archway in between two, and I can grow my I can try my zucchini and my summer squash and cucumbers again after the heartbreak of the vine grubs or vine worms or whatever they are. It was awful, and it was so, anyway, it was very upsetting. So over here I decided now I do flowers over here, and they do great. And then mostly what I do over here is root vegetables. So, of course, I've got a few little weeds in here. I love my French violets. I don't dig those up because I like them, unless they get really intrusive. And then, actually, I don't weed them. I'll dig them up and transplant them somewhere else. Over here, I can't remember what this is. It's either, it's either radishes or beets. I can't remember. It could possibly even be turnips. Shut up. Over there I have like 2 tiny carrots. So it is definitely true. It is hard to grow carrots from seeds indoors and then transplant them. I should have just sown them directly into the earth. I'm going to plant, I'm not sure what, another veggie over here and another one over here. So I've just kind of got it in 4 little quadrants. And this guy right here, I got at Savers for like, I want to say like $10. It's freaking amazing. Ceramic castle. And this guy over here, this is a vintage Arnell mold. I found this awesome toad. Toads are my favorites. In the basement of an estate sale, behind a bunch of stuff for like $5. I was like, what? I love my secondhand finds. So right here, amidst all the weeds, I have some Liatris Blazing Star. These things right here are chives. They're everywhere. You'll see. I'll show you. Look, don't plant chives unless you're going to keep them under control. I got chives, chives, chives. All this grassy stuff is all chives. It's everywhere. Friggin' chives! Well, if anybody ever needs chives, I've got them. These are lilies. These little surprise lilies that my neighbor Sandy gave me. We like to share plants. I share a lot of plants with my neighbors and friends. That is another lily, but that's that huge one that gets like the size of a dinner plate. I can't remember its name, but I'll do another video. More liatris, blazing star right there. Yeah, you know, whatever. I kind of take a natural approach to gardening because, you know, I'm a little bit lazy, but I also, you know, I don't think things have to be so manicured. Now, here's a thing that I could teach you that's awesome. As I said, I love my toads. Ignore this umbrella stand. This was one of my favorite large IKEA pots. And it split one year because I forgot to bring it in from the cold. And I was so upset because, you know, big terracotta pot, awesome. Now I got this crappy plastic thing over here, but whatever. So if you have a pot and it splits in half nicely, just turn them on their sides and they make excellent toad homes. Also, this pot, a little edge got knocked off of it, and that's another little toad house. I like to have lots of spots for my toads to hide. I mean, can you believe how perfect that just knocked right out of there? In my strawberry pot, if you don't know what a strawberry pot is, it's one of these deals with all the little holes. I've never had luck with strawberries. Margie, get out of there. So I plant Sweet Alyssum. I love it. I remember it from my childhood. My mom used to always plant it. Actually, in this strawberry pot, she gave me this one when she moved out of the big house. Not prison, but the old big house that I grew up in. This is Marshall's. He loves it. I think it's cute too. I got hot peppers in here. Also, a lot of this stuff is just marigolds, and I think there's some zinnias in there too. If you don't know, marigolds and zinnias make excellent companion plants. Down in here, I've got parsley and my San Marzano Roma tomatoes. Those are good companion plants too. Over here, I have an elderberry that was given to me, or at least it was a thing that I picked up at the St. Louis Seeding Frenzy. And you know, you probably are thinking I'm crazy for putting this in a pot, but I was doing some research on this. And if you have a pot with a wide base, you can actually grow it on your patio as a decorative. I don't know if I'm going to yield too many berries with it planted this way, but I can always move it out of here if I want. This thing was just a stick, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with this. I just stuck it in a glass of water, and this is about 2 months later. It just had so many roots and so many leafy things on it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna put this in a pot. So we'll see how that does. So I'm very excited right now. It's very rainy out here. Hey, you know what? I can't have gluten. I can't have eggs. I can't have dairy. I'm gonna have a cigarette every once in a while. Just cut me some slack. I can barely drink any alcohol. Not that I need to drink alcohol, but I'm just saying, you know. I gotta have a few. I gotta have something, man. Alright, let's see. What else have I got? Oh! I finally finished. Don't pay any attention to the derelict trampoline back there. I've been trying to get rid of that for years. I finally finished this, setting this garden up over here. It used to be my shade garden, but you can see that big stump right there, and this is what's left of that tree. We took that tree out because it was about to fall on the roof, and I just took all these stumps and put them around the perimeter, and I'll tell you that the toads really like it, so that makes me happy. I like to, and that's another reason why I like to keep my garden areas fairly natural, because I really want to have some wildlife. I mean, I do some things, and I'm sure people will look at this and be like, oh, well, you put mulch down, and you did this, and you did that, and that's not good for the... Whatever. I said somewhat, okay? I'm not perfect. So anyway, I have in here this is a white Jalia. And then I have some, down here I have some lily turf that's coming back. What do we got over here? Oh, this is an azalea. I have another azalea over here that's tiny because the dog decided to like break it in half. It's, where'd it go? Did it actually die? It may have. I don't see it anywhere. Huh. Well, that could be. There's a lot of wild French violets in here. I call them French violets just because I like to be fancy, so if they're not French violets, whatever. I don't care. This is a redbud tree that I planted several years ago, and now that it's not a shade garden. It used to be a shade garden full of hostas, but now that it's not, this is actually flourishing, so that's good. What the hell happened to my other azalea? Dude, it was tiny, but it was still here. I must be tripping, man. I don't see it anywhere. Huh. Oh well. Here's my little bird bath. I put a rock in the middle of that so I don't have like dead frogs and toads and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna come over here. So Marshall brought home this really beautiful fountain with a Buddha statue in the middle of it, and it was beautiful. I loved it, right? And the kids broke the Buddha, and so yeah, and then we never ended up getting the fountain put together, and I was like, dude, we're never gonna get the fountain put together. So I turned it into a planter. Here it is. This thing weighs like 300 pounds more, maybe, I don't know. But I decided to start this off as a planter this year. It does have a hole in the bottom, so we'll see how it goes. It's not very deep, so I'm not sure. Like I said, and I always say I'm not an expert, but we'll just see how it goes. That's kind of my approach to gardening, is just, you know, do it and see what happens. Now I got these really pretty hostas. They're called Raspberry Sundae because of this beautiful red stem here. And then I put elytris in the middle, and hopefully that'll get nice and tall coming out of the middle, and I'm hoping that these hostas will get bigger. And I put sweet potato vines here in a nice pink shade, and hopefully those will come down and get drapey, and it'll still have kind of like a fountain effect. I don't know if it's going to or not, but who knows if anything is even going to live in there, but we'll find out. Let's see. The usual suspects. Oh, I have some really nice hostas over here. I may move those this year, because I think we're going to try to put a hedge across the back so we don't have to stare at our neighbor's house over here. And this guy, the hydrangea. I planted this from one of those little things you get that's like a little tiny root. And I had two, and I don't know what happened to the other one. But this is going on like 3 years, maybe 4 even. And this poor thing is really struggling. And I think if I buy another one, I'm gonna get a larger one. Because I think I had a couple of blooms on it once. And it's just kind of not very dramatic. There's a grass I forgot to cut down. I may cut it back or I may not. I've been encouraging these honeysuckle to grow. I like to have some natives. I mean, people say, oh, it's invasive and whatever, but I've got tons of space back here, and pollinators love them. So, I mean, and it'll help to cover up this fence back here. There's my compost. Let's see. What else is going on back here? Oh, wow, look at this beautiful clump of clover. Gorgeous. Yeah, don't look at my feet. Shut up. So this is my yard. It's pretty, it's areas of amazingness and areas of just total derelict. So this year I've got mostly peppers. I'm not going in so hard with the tomatoes this year because I just don't do great with tomatoes. Even if I get them going, it's hard for me to remember to pull the tomatoes, so they just go to waste. And I think that's kind of crappy. So I don't like to be wasteful. But again, you know, I get easily distracted, and I'm also lazy sometimes. So okay, so this is my clematis vine. This is one of them. I have a few around. It was on this, you can see this smaller trellis here, and it just took off. And that little one kept falling down, falling over. So I got this larger one at an estate sale for, I think I got this guy for $11. But I think it looks really nice. I think $11 is a good price to pay for that. I just plopped it down on top because I didn't want to cut it back, and I didn't want to try and disentangle it. But as you can see, it's really doing its thing here. I was at an estate sale and I saw it and I was like, I don't know if I want that or not. I walked around for a little bit and then I came back outside and this old lady was eyeballing it, and I snatched it before she could get it. Does that make me an asshole? I don't know, but for some reason it's that much more satisfying. Oh, my raspberry. Don't mind the lawn bags. My raspberry is finally doing its thing. I planted this last year, and funny story, as things go, I had the plant, and then I forgot to plant it, and it was basically dead, and I was like, oh shit. So I just said, well, I'm going to plant it anyway. I just went ahead and planted it, and I said, well, if it's dead, it's dead. Sometimes things will surprise you. So I always err on the side of, even if it looks dead, I'm just going to plant it anyway. And in this case, get back, dog. Get back, Loretta. Oh. I'm like, you know, just plant it, put it in the ground. It couldn't hurt anything. Okay, over here, the side yard. This is the south side, so I call this the hotbeds. These guys here, this is all sunflower. I just threw those in there and I said, well, let's see what happens. And it looks like it's doing pretty good. More sunflowers over here. These look great. Over here I have Thai dragon hot peppers. And then these are all, somebody has been digging in there. I have very active squirrels over here. And then I've got some zinnias and sunflowers. And then over here I've got chipotle peppers and hot Tabasco peppers, which I dry those, and I make, I make crushed pepper out of it. I've got a lot of marigolds in here, and those are just starting to do their thing, you can see. And then over here is one of my iris patches. I also have some gladiolas against the wall. I need to move these guys, but they're heavy as shit. Love my two little mushrooms. I think I'm going to put those in that back bed with logs around it. So, there's a lot of stuff happening right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the front. I wish that I had made a video when all the tulips had first come out. They're kind of looking a little falling apartish now. But we're transitioning out of the first spring blooms and into the more summery stuff, like the gladiolas and the lilies and the daylilies and what else have I got? Oh, all the zinnias and all that really bright foliage and bright flowerage from bright blooms and lush foliage. So this is what's going on in my Midwest garden over here. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I'm Lou St. Lou. Total amateur, but I make it work. I'll try to always be honest and real about stuff, so. That's my whole thing. And I'm going to try to get this dog in because she's all wet now. Have a good day. Stay warm and dry. Or wet and cold if you prefer that. But, you know, I think the only one enjoying this are the toads and the plants. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.